What's up guys, fermagic. Today this video is about T3 Captain Marvel. First of all, I want to thank the landsmate for lending me his account because he's so lucky and he finished the unlock the potential for Captain Marvel in his first World Boss run. Her recommended build is offensive. She's definitely a PvE oriented character. She's most likely going to be ABX meta on both days, Universal Female and Universal Hero Day. So the first test I did on her is a timeline test, and not surprisingly she loses because she's using a CP of energy and there's no immunity to God Break on it. But then I tried to use her manually, and surprisingly she can kind of beat Thanos and Thrive in a few runs. So I guess Captain Marvel should be a decent PvP character, but it doesn't make sense to build her that way because she is a must-have for PvE content. So enough with the PvP test, and then I go to some PvE content. I first started with story mission, chapter 13, stage 8, and she kind of just breezed through Thanos, proving that she has a high DPS. And then moving on to the giant boss raid, and luckily one of the strangers who joined the team uses a Shirok with 2 damage buffing ally as a team, and then surprisingly, she kind of have a pretty high DPS. Her damage contribution is kind of respectable when considering she's teaming up with Shirok. She contributes around 40%. So she's going to be an ABX meta. Obviously, she's definitely going to score higher than Satana and Medusa. But then here comes a point where a lot of people were questioning is that whether she will score higher than Thor. And obviously I haven't tested yet, but I'm pretty convinced that she will score higher than Thor. The reason number one is that her skill just deals more damage. If you look at the skill description. Now for Thor, you proc on his 3rd and 5th skill. If you look at Thor's 5th skill, the damage scaling is very low. So it's like 55% lightning damage scaling to his energy attack. And the additional damage is not high as well. But for Captain Marvel, it's different. The scaling is higher. You can see 190 something percent of energy attack, and then addition 1,000 damage. So just from the skill standpoint, her skill just deals more damage. And then combining with the fact that Captain Marvel's T2 passive, it increases all buff effect by 20%. And that also affects her custom gear, which is the CDP of energy. So when Captain Marvel proc her CP of energy, assuming that your CP of energy is 200% proc, that energy proc will went from 200% to 240% damage proc, and each chain hit will increase damage by 35%, and that proc will last for 6.5 seconds. So not only her skills deals more damage, her proc deals more damage, and then her proc lasts longer. So, to conclude this video, the review of Captain Marvel, she's not a bust. She's a must-have for players who care about PvE content, especially in Lance Battle. And if a player decides to build her for PvP purpose, is alright as well. She'll do decent, regardless it's auto or manual PvP. If you're building her for PvP content, then maybe you can consider giving her a CP of Destruction, CP of Authority, CP of Regeneration, etc. Just defensive build, defensive custom gear. So that's all I have to say. Hope you guys liked the video. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And also the next video will be talking about the CDP of Regeneration. Thank you. Bye bye.